Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Path Exile. Endgame, postgame, Atlas game, whatever you want to say with EclecticAndrew the gamer, and Eclectic Witchy. And I'm gonna try something today. I already know I'm gonna call this episode Special Mapping, so... Specialty mapping, whatever. So I'm gonna try to do this thing with the divine vessel I just put in the map here. Plus I'm capturing Beast Reinhardt, so that's normal. But anyways, what's making this so special today is I am going to try out some special maps. See if I can figure out how to do that. Such as with this divine vessel. The divine vessel, what it does
Mana.
is, come on, don't die, is you can put it alongside the map inside the Atlas in order to have the chance to, upon killing the boss, capture the soul of the boss and enhance one of the pantheon of gods that you have already slain inside the for Sin. And because what? Come on, kill it already. Jeez Louise. So living. I want deed. So much living. Okay, there we go. Now, the Pantheon is, let's see here. This one. The Pantheon of the Gods. Where we get all the gods, except for Katava that we slay. We get to suck their powers away from them. Anyways, capture the blacksmith. Means if you have the Soul Garo Khan allocated to you, you have 60% reduced effective shock on you, and you cannot be blinded and you cannot be maimed so long as you capture the blacksmith. Because all these minor gods, you get to capture another soul to increase theirs a little bit. And all these souls you have to capture are in the Atlas, are bosses of the Atlas. And then the major gods, you have to capture three souls in order to upgrade them to their fullest power. Wow. That's cool. Plus 40 Kaz resistance against damage over time exclusively. Yeah. So, the blacksmith is of course the boss of the dunes here in the Atlas. So I'm going to try to capture his soul, feed it to Garo Khan, feed it to Sin, and get some more power out of Garo Khan. While we're here, we might as well just fight some monsters for Einhar. Come on, be cursed. And yeah, I forgot about Enfeeble last episode. Because like I said, I've been on a break for a while, and I'm back. Now I'm back. I need to relearn how to fight with this character. And Enfeeble does help a bit, because Impending Doom, or Doom Blast, or whatever it is called, does a lot of damage to help me out with the monsters and all that. There we go.
You are captured.
Yeah, captured, basically. Best day.
I need more mana.
We have captured you. Ooh, another map. You know, actually looking through my chest, my stash, I have so many damn maps, I don't know what to do with them all. I don't think I could even run them all with one or two characters if I wanted to try. I would just keep gaining more and more maps than I have already, and so I'm gonna have to look into trading my maps or something to somebody for some alchemy awards or something. Who knows? Who knows what people want for maps these days, especially all the low-tier maps. That's all I have is low-tier maps. I don't think I have anything above 3 in my stash besides a few 4s here and there. You know, and you may have noticed I was looking there, I think it was on screen, with the Maven. The Maven is only interested in bosses of tier 8 or higher. And the Maven is the specialty monster that is interesting to Kurak, because he's so worried about what the Maven will do. However, just kind of
Everything dies.
maybe getting her attention onto the Exile that we are playing just may be enough to keep her from annihilating us all, coming through the Atlas and just destroying everything. Of course, what Kurak hardly notices, or knows at all, is that there are 2 more Uber bosses in the waiting, watching the Maven, following the Maven, or something, and there are 2 more super terrestrial monsters like the Maven waiting to find a way into our world. And who knows for what reason whatsoever is in their little mind. We have no idea what's in their mind. They're crazed monsters. The Maven seems to be the most intelligent of them all, and wanting to enjoy battling most of all. Watching battles or being part of battles. Come on. Why am I dead? Why am I dead? Heal your damage. Let's do this. There we go. Yeah, I kind of changed up my hotbar a little bit and my skill gem a little bit to have Vaal discipline instead of clarity on my active gems.
The first ones look upon this capture with pride, Exile.
I'm glad, Einhard.
Well,
Thank you. Of course I do. I kill well, too. And, Vaal discipline kind of helped me out quite a bit there. Of course, Vaal gems are the specialty gems that are corrupted by the blood work of the Vaal. The ancient Vaal. And their thaumaturgy, involving all the blood work they did. And who knows if their obsession with blood came from the study of thaumaturgy and everything that comes with learning how to make skill gems, or if there was another reason entirely. Or if maybe they just kind of had a byproduct of obsession with the blood becoming useful for making skill gems. Or who knows what in what order, or who knows why, or how for. Come on, curse. Curse. I curse you. I spit on you and task me. I spit on you. I will have you.
do not
Yes.
worry, little beast.
We are friends now. We are friends. You've got a friend in me. Da-da-da-da. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. I've hunted you down and took you down. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. The first ones look upon this with pride. 'Cause I've taken your hide. And a little ragtime Path of Exile music for your enjoyment, everybody.
We are friends now.
See if I can kill this one again. Without dying, preferably. Come on, discipline. Keep me alive. Yeah, there we go. Did it this time.
There are no more worthy
Ooh, wow.
beasts nearby. So, I now will go feed the ones we caught.
Okay, you feed them. Ugh. Air down the wrong pipe. Or something down the wrong pipe. Just excuse me for coughing again.
And not before.
Ah, here we go. Almost to the blacksmith of the dunes. Here's his tent. There he is. Mr. Blacksmith. How many licks does it take to get to the cookie center of a candy hammer? Only you would know. Of course, like the Hillock zombie from the beginning of the game in Twilight Strand, once we get him down to half HP, he will take out his weapon from his body and start with his new moveset of leap slamming at you. So that's very interesting that he leap slam and summons zombies out of the dunes to fight with him. Of course, like the Hillock zombie, having a sword in hand makes him stronger. And there we go. Did we capture him? Yes. Oh no, that was a plateau complete? Why the plateau? I don't know. Let's see here. Plateau. Yeah, plateau. Dunes. Weird. Doing the dunes seemed to also activate the plateau. Oh wow, now I have 4 points for the Atlas tree. Yay. Oh, not that. Who knows why that happened with the... Ah, here we go. Garokhan, captured soul of the blacksmith. Now, do I take this and talk to Sin with it? And Sin's not in my... Do I eat it? Eat. Oh, there we go. Yes, I eat it. And now I cannot be blinded or maimed. And have 60% reduced shock. Nice. Nice. Alright then. Well, to continue with our specialty mapping, I do have this map here, or a map. And I'm going to put the Vaal piece along with it. A Vaal fragment. Might as well summon Ihar again, get a little boost and help in fighting the monsters. And enter the residence. You know, I don't think I've ever been in here. Looks like the tower. Map set. Tile set. You know, the Scepter of God. Well, how many towers are there in this game? Not many.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Ooh, a Wendigo. Wendigo. Because wake me up before you Wendigo. You know, I kind of want to ask viewers of this video, do you like strategy games? You know, I might as well ask this now, I guess, because of do you like Shin Megami Tensei games? I assume if you have answered yes to both of those questions, then you may have bought or will be buying Persona 5 Tactica at some point in time.
It is time to hunt.
And I don't know if I don't know about that game. I've never played those kind of the new tactical games with the Mario Rabbids or the Tactica yet.
Survivor.
But I've seen that they're a little bit different than what I'm used to.
This is a fine
Which technically is kind of Fire Emblem-like that I'm used to. It's kind of all the squares and the walking the squares and you move your character within the squares and you fight the enemies in the other squares. And I do like the strategy games with the squares. Kind of chessboard-like. Oh, how did you kill me? Damn it, hell. I've been playing those kind of strategy games since I was less than 10. Less than 8, I believe. Was Shining Force. Yeah, Shining Force was the only one I had, I think. But I enjoyed it a lot. I even would play with my toys in my room because I lived in a single room upstairs, which took up the whole span of the house. Because I'm like, ooh, big room, I want this to be my room. So it had tiles all over the floor. So I would take some of my toys and play with the toys where they're tactically fighting where they each occupy one of the tiles and go to the other tiles and fight enemies on the other tiles. My other toys. I remember I had Speedy too, because I would have him do like a water tidal wave attack against the Power Rangers and whatnot. Speedy was always my best boy. Well, a little bit off tangent, but to get off the tangent, what I was interested in with the strategy game and talking about Persona is there was 1 and 2 other Persona games
When I'm ready and not before.
that were strategy games, but they went into the RPG style battle. Like, for every turn you entered into combat, you go into a 1v1, well, not a 1v1, but a 1 turn to 1 turn V3 RPG battle against the enemies. It was very fun. I got a little stuck on it because the first boss is a very interesting boss. It's Wendigo. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wendigo, wake me up for you, Wendigo, right? But then he's so strong. And it took me a while to figure out how to level up in that game, how to become stronger. Because what you have to do is basically do some side battles over and over and over again, just kind of grind it out. And increase your monster teams and your monster storages and your monster fusions and all that. But Devil Survivor, which is what the name of the 2-game series is called, is very fun. It's a very interesting concept. I'm pretty sure the first game, maybe not the second game, but I'm not 100% sure about the second game. The first game, you learn about this computer program that's been made by your cousin. And apparently it's got this fortune-telling aspect to it. And whatever happens between you and getting the power to summon monsters, demons, in the game, it gives you the ability to see numbers over everybody's heads. So you get to see, like when you go to fight the Wendigo, you actually don't even know you're going to go fight the Wendigo, but you know that you and your friends have zeros over your heads. So you're like, God, what's going to happen today that's going to kill us? God. Because you learn pretty quickly that people die when they have a 0 over their head. And the numbers up to 9 is counting down till the time and day that person's not going to die. So, because of this program, this AI program that's developed, it's developed a news magazine of sorts, because it's fortune telling and giving out news and everything about so and so is going to happen on so and so day. The weather is going to be this day. And one of the news articles that you get early on in the game before the first boss, the Wendigo, is that there will be a sudden snowstorm at this mall tomorrow.
When I'm ready and not before.
And there will be 3 people found later on, having been buried in the snow and died in the snow, supposedly. So actually the next day, you're running from something that's going on, trying to get away from something, and you realize you're in the mall, and a great big snowstorm starts up. And then you see the Wendigo, and you're like, oh my god. Oh my god, the 3 people in the news story, it's us! And you gotta fight that Wendigo to survive, and you gotta beat that Wendigo to survive, and jeez, I gotta walk up the other flight of stairs now. Well, it's a good strategy game. Once you figure out the grinding aspect of the game. It takes a little while to grind, which is frustrating. Excuse me. Which, I feel like Fire Emblem Awakening may have done that too, or Fire Emblem, what's it called? Not the Fates, but the Echoes. I've only seen Echoes, but I think I may have done that too, to where you grind the same little map over and over again. With the monsters, same monsters over and over again. To get strong enough to survive against tougher fights. Oh boy, am I fighting now I'm fighting 2 yellow monsters. You know, let's put down a portal. Portal, portal. Interesting. What to talk about now? You know, honestly, the Shining Force back on the old Sega Genesis, number 2 is very fun because you get to put in a secret code to let you see some secret options at the beginning of the game before you start up a new file of gameplay. And you can make it so that you can fight a second player, technically, where you could control the monsters with the one controller. So what happens is you would switch controllers, or the other person would tell you what to do with the monsters that they're controlling. But one interesting fight about that game that makes you realize, oh, this is just like a board game, is the chessmen fight in the Desktop Kingdom. Because at one point you get miniaturized in the game and put onto a desk in a room in an office, and there's a chessboard on the desk, and the king of Desktop Kingdom tells you, well, if you can defeat my army of chess people, then yes, I will let you carry on with your life and go down to the floor and risk finding a way to resize yourself to normal size. But until you defeat that chessboard kingdom chess knight battle, you are not going anywhere in the Desktop Kingdom. Except the Desktop Kingdom.
Up you go, little beast! Away!
But it's a really fun fight. It's not a normal chessboard, it's basically double or like a 2.2 bigger size than a chessboard of squares. But it really drives home the aspect of the strategy game that you're playing, to where, oh, you're on this square, I fight you on that square? How fun. Ow. Ow. God's sake. Don't kill me, bro. Don't kill me, Golgol. Jeez. Painful, 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 painful. Sorry I'm not talking. I'm trying to focus on fighting this monster, but I'm also distracted by the fact I'm trying to think of something else to talk about. Which, I know is what I'm supposed to be doing for this LP. Because, the point of making an LP is to talk while you're playing the video game, because otherwise it's just video gameplay and not very fun otherwise without talking. Oh, yes, we took him down.
Exile. I
Yes.
will write a mighty poem about it.
You write your poem. So... Oh. So... I guess I could ask, do you like, viewers, the older style of strategy RPGs? Or are you interested in something newer and different? Such as the Mario and Rabbids has become in Persona Tactica, like that. Or is there something older or different that you would like instead? Or would you like the squares, or like old Fire Emblem, or... Well, actually, even new Fire Emblem still has the squares, as far as I've seen. Besides the Warriors game. Well, games. It is so weird that what they did with the Fire Emblem and Zelda and the Warriors crossovers. Basically what they did was they made a proof of concept Warriors style game That was... Wow, I beat him. That was a whole separate, singular story all by itself. Weird, I thought that Vaal fragment was supposed to do something in here. Well, we'll see when we get out of here what's going on. But then they made a second Warriors game in the same series that ended up being a continuation or a prequel to another Nintendo franchise story. Weird. I don't know what that Vaal fragment was supposed to do. Oh well. Well, let me try one more thing then. With the specialty mapping. Let's take this Mesa. Take a Vaal fragment if I can find one. There we go. It's over here. This one. A Dawn fragment. Okay. No, not a... I can take a Vaal orb. And Vaal this Mesa to make it completely crazy. Make it really special. Bloody and gory and special. It's time for a blood sport, ladies and gentlemen. Strategy games. Or do you... Is there something else that you play that is tactically interesting? There is one other game series I can think of that's interesting tactically, style-wise. It's called Growlancer. It's a little old nowadays, but it's not as old as Shining Force, but it's newer, but I think it's been discontinued in making since the last game I saw. Or maybe there was one or two other games after the one I bought last, or saw last, and now it's out of production, out of series production. But it's called Growlancer.
I need more mana.
It's pronounced Growl. The specialty of the world, like the magic of the world, it's called Grow. But it's spelled like grow. But then also it's got the Lancer in it at the end after the Growl. That's part of the same word. But it's not Lancer like a Dragoon Lancer, Lanceman, Pikeman, Lancer. It's Lancer. Lancer. So it's basically Grow Lanza or something like that. It's what it looks like.
When I'm ready, and
But when you pronounce it, it's called Growlancer. Which I remember one time asking somebody at a GameStop about the game, and they were a little confused by what I was calling it. So it took them looking at me spelling the word and them looking it up to see, oh, okay. Yes, we have this game. But what it does differently as a strategy game is you have your team of people, you have the enemies, you're on the field,
To be hunted, Exile.
and what you do is you select your character, and then you select a point of interest you select a point on the field, and make a stop it. It basically is like
Up you go.
you make a line between where the character starts and where the character is going to go, and then it has to be a straight, unencumbered, straight line, and go to that point. And you can do this you can make a few lines of moving and doing until you get somewhere where you want to do something. It's fun. It takes a little while to figure out, especially once you learn that you can't go around corners. You cannot cut those corners. You very easily can get stuck on that corner. If you're trying to go around another character, that's the same thing as a corner. It had a very interesting weapon system because basically what it was
I now will take it.
you would have all these magical rings on to wear in the world of Growlancer. And I think every ring gave a person their most innermost vision of a weapon for themselves to master and use. But then also you could equip these weaker version of the rings that would instead grant stats and powers and abilities, resistances to, or powers over another enemy, type of enemy, an element, whatever. And then there would also be challenges in the game to where you had to use this power ring or this level power of ring, and I think the most of the rings you could equip was 4 total, because you'd have the weapon ring and then the 3 stat rings. But it's not like you got to buy different weapon rings. You just had the one great ring to give you a weapon, and that was the weapon you learned and mastered and fought and lived with and died with throughout the game. Throughout the series, actually. It's not that it followed one character throughout the multiple games of the series, but it's a series of games with many heroes, and I think the only ones that follow in order of each other is 1 and 2. Because from what I know from Wikipedia, is one of the early game boss fights of number 2 is against the final boss and with some of the heroes from the first game. You join them in a rematch against the final boss, who somebody's trying to revive to bring about a new war in the land. So basically, in the second game, you're trying to figure out a way to stop all the wars going on, and it seems like that's what everybody's doing, but somebody keeps manipulating it over and over again to keep on instigating newer and newer wars, which sucks.
I need more mana.
Especially in a video game world. Anyways, how about these chimeras? Multiplying chimeras. Oh, that's another strategy series I love to death. Arc the Lad. And yes, just saying chimeras made me remember the game. Because technically, 1 and 2 is basically part 1 and part 2 of the same game. Same story of the game. And it's the old style, the square system. But it's so much fun. It's got a great story. Basically, what you're going to come to find out is once you fight the first big boss in the second game, is that there's a country in the world making chimera monsters out of people, and trying to take over the world with the spirit of darkness leading them. Because Arc the Lad has a bunch of guardian spirits in the world, and they had sealed the 5 other spirits had sealed away the spirit of darkness. But somehow the spirit of darkness learned how to communicate psychically and is now leading the charge from his prison psychically through his cohorts in this one nation in the world, and is trying to take over the world, as good bad guys do. As all bad guys do.
When I'm ready, and not before.
You know, about Control, it's interesting with the old Star Wars stories. You know, Star Wars has canon events now, and a canon legacy and a expanded legacy universe storylines. And in one of the books, it starts out really superhero, softcore, fun porn, really. Luke enters a pirate base, and the pirates, being so used to fighting Jedi and being so enamored with protecting themselves against the Jedi, they set up at least one room full of so many deadly traps. Luke's caught in this trap, and he's like, uh-oh, what do I do now? Okay, Force, let's use the Force and get out of this jam. Because the pirates' trap is a room with many steel bars cutting through the room, making basically a hex grid of trapping pillars, prison, whatever you want to call it, style to where he's in like a conjointed position, trapped and unable to move most of his body, especially well enough for a Jedi to fight and use his lightsaber. They turned on an anti-grav generator, so gravity is completely disorienting to him. And I think they've got it set up to where it's moving this way and that way multiple times throughout the room, multiple times throughout a minute. So it's changing this way and that way to disorient him even more. And they have grenade launchers, launching grenades into the room. So Luke's got all these big problems going on in this room. So what does he decide to do, superhero-like? He uses the Force, grabs a bunch of grenades, throws them at one side of the room, which he's sure is about to open up the room to outer space. So the point of this is to get himself sucked out into outer space. Which, if we've seen the movies recently, we know is okay for Jedi to do sometimes. What Luke does is he grabs all the air in the room, the grenades are up against the wall, and they explode and blow out the wall, and he goes floating out in space. I forget what happens to the bars. Maybe he did use the Force to use his lightsaber to cut them really fast. So he's floating out in open space with the air around him, and he just kind of force pushes himself to his ship, just like Leia does, I guess, and gets inside before he dies of space exhalation or whatever. And whatever happens is, I think the pirate base is exploding during all this because it's got a self-destruct feature that they set off to try to kill him too. And Luke Skywalker's girlfriend, Mara Jade, is watching him do all this. And she tells him, within a chapter or two, she's just in utter shock and disbelief of what he's done as a Jedi. It doesn't look like all these superhero antics and trying to win the attention and glory of everything and fighting these pirates and everything looks like the light side. She thinks it looks like the dark side, which she would know because she was originally a dark side Force user because she was the Emperor's hand. She was an assassin for Emperor Palpatine. And so she's just
Well met.
saying, your superhero antics are blowing yourself out of the water and out into space and everything. You're gonna end up forcing the dark side more and more people than you are the light side because you're so busy trying to look so cool and awesome and everything. And he's trying to control the situation, she said, to where he looks the most powerful, most coolest looking hero of all. Most like heroish looking person. And she's like, you're only gonna make the dark side stronger because you're trying to control everything, trying to look cool and everything. Trying to get yourself out of the most dangerous situations whatsoever. Oh, and I don't know where this came from. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say with what I'm trying to say. But I've gotten the end of the episode now. Read Hand of the Empire. Hand of Thrawn. To see what I'm talking about. It is a cool duology of books. At the end of it, Luke's so afraid of Mara Jade dying. But he learns to accept it and realizes the future he foresaw wasn't a bad future, it was a good future. And it's like, when she wakes up at the end of the books, she's like, Mara, will you marry me? And that's how they get together. Where he starts to realize what he really wants out of life is to be a good Jedi and be her husband and everything. Love her and whatnot. But that's all, everybody. Until next time, why are my minions dead? Until next time, take care of yourself, and until next time, have fun. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.